Hi, I'm Kristin Duncan, and I'm a real estate agent here in Orlando, Florida. And today I want to talk about one of the most burning questions around Orlando real estate, which is pool or no pool. And we're just going to cover some of the general, most frequently asked questions, general ideas that you need to think about if you're considering getting a pool. So there are really two types of pools here, a chlorine and a saltwater pool. Chlorine is way more common. The one behind me here is a chlorine pool. You can't really tell by looking at them. Sometimes chlorine is a little bit clearer, but benefits of a chlorine pool are going to be, like I said, a little bit clearer water. It's a disinfectant, so in that regard, it's a little bit healthier, and your pool equipment is probably going to last a little bit longer because the salt will cause potentially some corrosion. However, the salt is going to be better for you in most people's eyes. It's a little less harmful to your skin, to your eyes, less irritating, and your swimwear is probably going to last a little bit longer. You don't have those harsh chemicals affecting you. So let's talk about the cost of either adding a pool to a house that you already have or that you're looking at purchasing, or getting a home with an existing pool, because there are a lot of differences here. As of right now, and really since COVID happened, the wait time to get a pool can be a little bit lengthy. So if you're looking at a house without a pool, looking at a vacant lot where you can add, budget probably a year minimum before it's done. In most situations, there are exceptions to that. Based on where you live, that's going to differ, but in most areas, it's going to be about a year before you can get a pool. Another big question is, am I going to get my money out of buying a pool? So most pools, the minimum you're probably going to end up spending is $100,000. Maybe if you're lucky, you could get something for $90,000, but most of our clients right now are spending between $100,000 and $120,000 on a pool. Now, I do think there is some value in personal use. If you are moving to Florida to swim, if you're going to have your family over, lots of parties, spend time at home, I do think there's value in that. But I don't think you're going to dollar for dollar get your money back out of the pool, especially if you're looking at selling in the next 3 to 5 years. It's pricey. An appraiser typically isn't going to give you $100,000 in value for a standard pool. Probably something more like 25 to 75. Let's average it out to 50,000, based on features of the pool. Do you have a nice pool deck? Sun shelves are really popular right now, water features. So it varies. I'm making generalized statements, but in general, you aren't going to get your money back out dollar for dollar if you add a pool. So let's talk about pool maintenance and maintaining the pool. There is going to be cost and or some effort involved in having a swimming pool. So this one, for example, and what most people, I would say, choose to do is to have a pool company or pool service maintain their pool. And they typically, especially in the summertime, are going to come once a week and do that for you. Average cost, I would say, is $150 to $185 for that once a week service. Again, depending on where you live. Sometimes you can get a discount if someone already is maintaining pools in your neighborhood. So I usually say talk to your neighbors when it comes to suggestions on maintaining the pool. You can do it yourself. You have to be careful. So there's something called pool school here in Florida, where some of these pool companies will come to your house for a fee and train you how to maintain your pool. One of the biggest risks of maintaining it yourself are staining bottom of the pool. And my pool personally has chemical stains at the bottom from when we first bought our house and my husband was trying to maintain the pool ourselves. There is a savings to maintaining it on your own though. You're probably going to spend $1,000-ish a year in chemicals. Again, that's going to depend greatly, size of the pool, where you live, but big cost difference in doing that. I shouldn't even say big, but there's more risk involved as well. And then if there's a storm or a hurricane, or you cut grass and the grass flies in your pool or leaves are in your pool, you're going to have to spend money on potentially, dousing it with chemicals and really shocking it and getting it back to par. So you could almost end up spending equal amounts if you maintain it yourself versus get a company to do it. My suggestion is get a company unless you really know what you're doing. Couple other things to consider with your pool, or if you want a screen or no screen. And really this just comes down to personal preference. As far as my perspective as a real estate agent, an appraiser is going to give you a little bit more value if you have a screen over your pool. There's cost to that. We just priced one out at a property that's lakefront, big pool deck. It was about $35,000 for the screen. It depends on, again, the size of the pool, size of the house, but they can be fairly pricey. Benefits of having a screen, the biggest one for me is mosquitoes. My previous house used to back up to conservation, and we couldn't even swim in our pool at night unless we got a screen because of the mosquitoes and bugs that were coming in from that kind of wet conservation area behind our house. You'll probably have a little better luck somewhere like this, where you're in town, you have houses around you, and you have less of that damp land behind your house. And no screen, I mean, they have the sun shelf, you have just more space, and you have an unobstructed view. So if you have something like a lake house, it'll be more common to have no screen. Something else to think about is pool heater or no pool heater. Most pools in Florida don't have a heater, most things that we run across. This pool in particular has a gas heater. The owner paid about $5,000 to get that installed, and every time they heat up the pool, it's a pretty big pool. I would say it's average or a little bit bigger than average pool. She said it costs them $35 to $50 to heat this pool for the day. So it's not something you want to run 24/7, and that's for a gas heater. You can do electric. You are really going to drive up your electric bill if you do that. It is expensive. There's also solar heating for swimming pools. I don't mind this, it works. A lot of times though, they lay on your roof, and when that lays on your roof, it can trap moisture and actually cause problems with your roof. We've seen that a lot over the years. So I'm personally, even though it's money saving, not a big fan of the solar heater for your pool if it's on the roof and could compromise your shingles. We've just seen too many issues with it, heard too many inspectors talk about it over the years. So the final thing I'm going to discuss with the pool is your homeowner's insurance. It likely will cause an increase in your homeowner's insurance, but it's hard for me to quote how much because, I'm sure you've heard the stories, insurance changes a lot in Florida, and it's still going to be based on, your situation, the age of the roof on your house. There's a lot of factors that are going to go into how much your insurance increases or decreases. If it's an investment property for you, a long-term rental, let's say, I personally look for rentals with no pool because of that insurance increase. Now, if you're looking at a vacation rental, you absolutely want a pool. So this really depends on your personal situation, but I do recommend calling an insurance professional during the inspection period if you're looking at purchasing a property, because you want to know how much that's going to increase your insurance. So thank you so much for listening. If you have any additional questions, please feel free to reach out to us or comment below, and don't forget to like and subscribe and let me know what you would like to hear about next.